Hey everyone, Meg from Adventuring Home. How you doing? I want to speak to you today about consumption. In the last week, I have become pretty obsessed with podcasts. Particularly Lucy Boucher's podcast, The Brave Exchange, which you must check out. I'll leave a link below. And in less than a week, I have listened to every single one of her podcasts. I think she's got 9 or 10. And amongst that, I've been reading 2 books. I've been watching a shit ton of Gabby Bernstein videos. And just watching a lot of YouTube, reading a lot online. I've been consuming so much information. And I've found myself in this cycle of really getting anxious when I'm not in a state of consumption. As soon as I've finished a podcast, I'll jump on my computer and look up something on YouTube. As soon as I've finished sitting and reading a book for, say, half an hour, I'll want to get on my phone and flick through Instagram or look up Facebook, see what's happening online. And as much knowledge as I'm taking in and how wonderful this all is and how much I'm learning from all of these things, I've realized in the last few days that I'm not giving myself space to absorb this information, to allow myself to soak up all these wise words that I'm reading, listening to. And it comes back to yin and yang. The yang is the doing. It's the masculine energy of consuming, of taking things from the world, of bringing things towards us. But then the yin is that of surrender, that of openness, that of really soaking in. So for the last week, in terms of my consumption patterns online and in books, I have been really yang. I have just been consuming. I've been actively grasping for information outside of myself. I've been not sitting in any yin. I've been not giving myself the space to really soak up that which I'm learning, which in the end I'm not learning then, I'm just simply absorbing. I really realized some parts of this week, I wasn't grabbing my book because I really wanted to soak up information. I wasn't reaching for the podcast because I really wanted to listen to all the information that I was going to get out of it. I was simply grasping for it because I was in that state of doing. I didn't want to sit in silence. I didn't want to be alone. And that can be a really dangerous cycle to get into, that of constant consumption. Because in the end, the balance of our spirituality, the balance of ourselves as human beings comes from that yin and yang, that doing, coupled with that beautiful act of surrender, of silence, of acceptance. So I just really wanted to make this video today to kind of put it out there and openly express that this is what I'm going through, that I have become a really crazy consumer over the past week. And I also wanted to warn you that this may be a cycle that you may find yourself in, if not now, maybe one day, and to really stay observant of this, to really be able to catch yourself in this cycle, to be able to notice when you are consuming from that place of craving information and wanting extra knowledge, opposed to consuming from that space of craving to be filled, avoiding silence, avoiding yourself in a way. Because it's this latter space that I have been acting from the last week. Now, for me, this doesn't mean that I'm going to put down the podcast. It doesn't mean that I'm never going to read again or read any blogs. It just simply means that I'm going to be really observant of the way I choose to consume. It means that I'm going to bring a lot more balance into my life. Possibly after a podcast, I'm then going to sit in meditation or maybe go for a walk. Just really actively choosing to balance those two energies in my life in terms of the way I consume information. So if you have found this video helpful, I'd love it if you shared it around. Until next time, stay well, keep adventuring home. Big love.